Okay, the reason I have a real fat policeman is because he's going to have a PR-24 or a nightstick in one hand, and he's going to have a donut in the other. And there's going to be a caption on the bottom, and I haven't figured out exactly what I'm going to say about it yet, but he needs to be big and wide and kind of on the fat side. So, or big. Alright. So I'm going to do the back section first. So I know. Alright, and so now I'm going to start trimming the front portion off. I'll do his uniform a little bit later. But he's not a happy camper. He's just a big, tough guy. And folks, I am not doing this out of any disrespect for policemen. I went through the police academy, and I went through all that. I was never on a force simply because I couldn't do the farming and the other. And back in the 90s, when I graduated from the Reading Police Academy in the 90s, we ended up looking for part-time work, and that was almost impossible. They wanted full-time. Now it's just the reverse. They want the part-time because now they don't have to pay all the bennies out and the retirement and all the rest that goes with that. So let's first do the arms a little bit. I'm going to push this in. I'm going to follow this donut around as well. At least get that started. It's going to take a little bit of work to get all this stuff, all these little details in here. And so it's not out of any disrespect. It's just a funny little carving I thought of the other day, and I thought this might be fun just to do something a little different, you know, than what I had before. I did train with the PR-24 with the nightstick with that handle on it. And I am telling you, that is a wicked little thing. I don't know if they use it today as much. I don't think that they do unless there's riots of some sort. They use that wand and the taser nowadays. But back then we had to swing that at each other in our class and stuff. And that was, everybody got a little bit black and blue because you learned real quick how soon you had to protect yourself. Because actually this part here would go up. You would hold it in your hand, and the stick portion would go up against your forearm so you could block anything. And you learn how to block really quickly. Just had to get hit a couple of times with that, and you knew you knew how to handle it pretty quick after that. So you know, the policemen have a terrible time. They really do today. They've got a lot of you know, they've got to know a lot about psychology and all the rest that goes with that. I would tell you, back in the 90s, we learned more about how to handle people, how to talk to people, and the laws than the shooting and the psychological portions of it. And that was just simply because of the way things were. You know, you had to be able to talk to people and see what was going on, because most people were stressed out when you came up to them. So, you know, this is not to diminish it, but this is just a fun project that I thought of the other day, and I thought, I'm going to try something a little different and see if I can get something going here, something a little different than what I've been working on. But going back to police work, I respect it. You know, it's a very tough job. And at the same time, people don't care for the policemen, but when they're in trouble, they're the first people they call. So they're always out there trying to take care of things. I'm going to chop this down a little bit further because that's going to be way too big for me to work with. So, but I did go into the security field where I got both licenses. I had my license to become a cop, and I also got my license to MPA to work for a security firm with a weapon. So I had both. I still have the one. In fact, I have to go for a retraining on that. I'm going to work on the donut portion offline because it's going to take too long. But what I want to do, and what I want you to do, is cut out the other arm, okay, and around wherever you're going to put this nightstick, or the PR24. You can just have the one if you want. You don't have to put this other one on here if you don't, but I'm going to put the little PR24 on there. And I'm going to do most of this offline, trying to cut this portion out, and then we'll worry about his tie and everything else and finish up his face. Alright, we'll be back.